Hello everyone and welcome to my review on the newest addition to Too Faced's Chocolate Bar Eyeshadow Palette family. This is the Gold Chocolate Bar Palette from Too Faced. It is the same price as the other chocolate bar palettes. It is $49. You do get less product in here than you typically get in one of their palettes. I don't know why. This palette has 14.8 grams in it total, and a typical Too Faced chocolate bar palette has 17.5 grams per palette. So it does make a difference in the cost per gram and everything. Technically, you know, you're still paying the same price. It's just you're getting less product in this palette. Normally for a chocolate bar palette, it's $2.80 per gram. This is $3.31 per gram. So pretty big jump there. I see you, Too Faced. I see what you've done. But that aside, I love this palette, you guys. I really do. I think there could definitely be some improvements here, but I think overall this is a gorgeous palette and it's everything that I like to do with my eyeshadow. Is that kind of creepy? Can you see my painting of G-Dragon? So in here you get 12 metallic eyeshadow shades and then you get 4 matte eyeshadow shades. I personally love that. I think, you know, there could maybe be a little bit of difference in that maybe some of the metallic could have been more shimmery, but I think the metallic came from the fact that this is like the gold palette, you know, and gold isn't necessarily sparkly like a diamond. It's just kind of metallic and reflective like these metallic shadows. But I do really appreciate the matte shades in here. I kind of wish we could get like one more matte shade. That's just me being greedy though, but I think the matte shades they included in here are perfect in the sense that they do blend out very, very nicely. They're very soft, very smooth. They're just pigmented enough, but not too terribly. I do think that's a bit of a problem with Decadent, the black shade in here. It's really not that great of a shadow. Like, there are so many better black eyeshadows than this one. It just comes off as like chalky and more of like a, I don't know, not like a rich charcoal, but like a gray charcoal, if that makes sense. Like, it's the difference between using a pressed charcoal stick and like vine charcoal in drawing. If any of you are fellow artists out there, you understand that reference. But that being said, it is work withable. You know, I just think the black could definitely use some improvement, but the metallic shades, you guys, are so beautiful. They are all so nice and rich. They apparently, I mean, if you haven't ever tried one of the chocolate bar palettes, hello to the online beauty community. They've been around for a while now. They are made with real cocoa powder, so these do smell like chocolate. So if you don't like stuff to be scented that you're putting on your face, you're not gonna like this. It does have a quite strong scent of cocoa. I personally like it, but I am also a chocolate and food addict, so. Too Faced also claims that the metallic shades have real gold infused in here. I don't know how minuscule of an amount that gold is. I feel like this palette would be $1 million if it had real gold in it, but you know, that's what they say, so I'm gonna go with it. Their metallic shades have real gold in it. They say it's to make them like extra metallic and shiny. Now, I will say, the metallic shades, I think it's a bummer that they don't work great with a brush. They do work, but these really are best when applied with your fingers, which can get a little bit tricky just when you're trying to do finer detailed things and stuff on your lids, but they definitely are work withable. And like I said, I mean, you can use a brush and they do work out just fine. It's just you're not gonna get that high impact gold metallic shine to them. But I do think you get a lovely array of colors. You get silvers, actual golds, brown golds, red golds, greens. Just, I really like the variety in the shades here, and they all work beautifully together. You can come up with some really cool and fun color combinations with this palette, so I really appreciate that. And what I really like is just the fact that there are these matte shades. You start off with that matte base, you know, with some transitions and crease stuff, but then you can really change up your eyeshadow look depending on how you place the metallics on top of that. I think you'll be able to see in my tutorials and whatnot, you know, I was able to come up with a very daytime look, a smoky daytime / transitioning into night look, and And then we have this look, which I personally consider a bit more nighttime. I mean, I'm technically wearing it during the day right now. Not that you would know since I'm not able to film in natural daylight right now. Oh, winter. But either way, I do think this palette is very versatile, which I think upon first glance, you're like, no. Like, this is definitely a vampy day or a nighttime palette. But I think I can prove you wrong if that's how you're thinking, and that's how I was personally thinking at first. So I'm very happy with this palette, the way that it all works out and works together. I've really enjoyed playing with it and the looks that I've come up with. Like, this is the kind of stuff I like to do with my eyeshadow. I really like just having a couple of those matte shades to, you know, put in the crease and on the outside part of the lids, deepen things up, and then just have like 1 or 2 shimmery shades or metallic shades going across the lid. I just think that is perfect. You know, you can use a pop of color that they provide in here on the lower lash line, which I really love to do. I just think this palette, I personally really like it, and for what I like to do with my eyeshadow, and I've found that it is very, very versatile. I also find that the shadows last very well throughout the day. They might fade a little bit throughout the day, you know, if I'm wearing them for like a 12+ hour day, but overall I feel like they end up looking exactly the same at the end of the night compared to when I first put them on. They blend well, they look great. I personally really, really like this palette. So I think that's about all I can really say in terms of this palette. I think seeing swatches and my tutorials and stuff are really what's helpful for you guys. So enjoy. That part of this video is coming up next year, and then I will just see you all at the very end of the video. So, here we go. everyone, welcome to this second tutorial here. I'm honestly not completely sure what I'm going to be doing here today, but hey, it's a process, isn't it? I also feel bad because I feel like with this kind of a palette, there's only so much I can do. But you know, we're gonna try. We're gonna do our darndest here anyways. So I am gonna go ahead with Cocoa Truffle here on a contour brush. I suppose priming my eyes would be a good idea. I'm gonna go ahead and do that actually first. There we go. Now that that is done, now I will go in with Cocoa Truffle and I'm gonna be putting this, I'm gonna concentrate it on the outer and inner portions of the crease. Try not to be shy with this. Just kind of dabbing that on there. And then any excess, I'm just connecting the two there. Yeah, you see what I did? Nothing too complicated. A fluffy blending brush. I know it looks like there's pigment on here, but I promise it's just stained. And I'm gonna dip this into So Bougie. And I'm gonna be putting this above where I just put Cocoa Truffle and blending that. So you can have some nice smooth transitions. So that's looking really pretty. You could leave it like this, but I'm gonna take it a step further here and use Decadent. I'm gonna use a tapered fluffy brush in that. Very, not tentatively, but not hesitantly either. What is the word I'm looking for? I'm basically putting this on the outside part of the crease and giving a little bit of a flick, a little bit of a cat eye wing thing. Yeah, you see what I did there? And then I'm just blending excess towards the middle. Don't worry about it being too clean or messy or whatever on the lid. That is going to get covered up here in just a moment. I did, you know, one of these eyes is more successful than the other, but I'm now gonna go in with a flat shader brush in Holla for a Dollar. Really excited. This looks like such a pretty olive green. I'm gonna be putting this on the outer half of the lid. Let's see. It seems to be doing okay with a brush. I'm sure I can amp it up with my finger in a second here, though. It's kind of a shame about these. I wish you could do it just with the brush, but hey, let's get our fingers dirty, shall we? Okay, so I take it back. Instead of outer half, I'm doing more like outer 2/3. Yeah, I loved the way this color looks. Really pretty smoked out into that black. And I'm just using the brush to kind of blend out the edges of it a little bit, soften it up a bit. Sultry. And then to perk things up a little bit, I'm gonna go right next door into Gold Dipped. I'm gonna put that on my pinky and I'm just gonna dab this on the empty lid space that we have left. And then just kind of dab to make a gradient into that olivey gold shade. I'm not sure if you can see, I was also holding a brush. I'm just gonna get a little bit of that on a brush just to get on these innermost corners of the lid and also just to make that gradient really nice and smooth. Then I'm just gonna take Rollin' in Dough, that on a flat concealer brush, and I'm just gonna highlight underneath the brow with this, and for good measure on the inner corner as well. And then to bring bring some of the smoke onto the lower lash line, I'm taking a different tapered fluffy brush, dipping this into Love and Cocoa. I'm just gonna smudge this along the lower lash line. And here you go, you guys. Here is the finished look. I just went ahead and put a burgundy wine Merlot kind of a colored liner on to mimic or play in with the Love and Cocoa shade on my bottom lash line. Did some liquid liner, put on mascara, and voila! I really like the way this turned out. I really like wine colors with the olive green type colors. I think everything plays really well together. You know, a bit of a smokier look and everything. Well, quite a lot smokier than my first tutorial here, but I think everything turned out quite nice. I like it. Alright, hello everyone. Time for this final tutorial of mine. As always, I'm gonna go ahead and prime my lids. Go in with Cocoa Truffle here on a contour brush. I feel like the base for all these eye looks is pretty much the same. It's just what we end up doing with the metallics that makes the difference. But start off, it's just, I don't know, I feel like there's only so much you can do with these matte shades, but I do like that about this palette. So I am just working this into my whole crease here. Trying to get a semi-smooth blend, but we're gonna use other shades to blend more later, so not worried too much about it. And then I'm gonna use a small fluffy brush here, dip it into So Bougie. I'm gonna use this to soften that blend that I didn't completely blend. You know, like I said, it didn't have to be perfect, that lash shadow, because we were gonna go in with this shade anyways. And just blend it up towards the brow. Pointy pencil-y brush, I think that's what these are called. I'm going to go into Decadent here, and I'm going to be concentrating this on the outside and inside part of the crease. More so in the crease and above rather than below. But I'm just going to use this, feather that towards the center. So there will be that black line going all the way, but I want it to be more concentrated on the outside parts, yeah? And then too, just the littlest bit of this on the inner and outer portions of the lid. So not a ton, but just a little bit. I know it's looking a bit ridiculous now, but theoretically this is gonna get much better in just a second here. Take a clean, fluffy brush and blend out that black. Not necessarily blend it out, but you know, blend it in. Just making sure the transitions are smooth and all that. Now it's time for the fun. So I'm gonna go in with Live and Lavish. And I'm gonna use a dense shader brush to really try and pack that on. And I'm gonna be putting this on the outer and inner thirds. So I'm gonna be putting this where, you know, we had that black on the lid. Don't worry about blending quite yet, we'll get there. But really just making sure that color is popping where we're putting it. another shader brush here and dip it into New Money. This one we are going to put on the rest of the lid here, blending into those outer dark purple parts. Really just taking your time, blending, making a nice gradient. Now, we could stop here on the lids, but like, why do that when we have so many other shadows, yeah? So I'm gonna go into Drippin' Diamonds with my pinky finger here, and I am just gonna tap this on the very centers of my lids. Don't worry, I will blend that. Don't worry, I will blend that. To bring all of this loveliness down to the lower lash line, I am going to take an angled liner brush in Decadent and just smudge that along my lower lash line and then blend it out with the darker purple color. Purple color, Live and Lavish. Also going to use a fluffy brush in New Money just to add a little bit of lightness to my lower lash line, and also, like I said, continue the color down below. Also going to highlight beneath my brow with Rollin' in Dough, just very, very lightly. Alright, and here you have it. Here is the finished look. I am peeved. I could have sworn I owned a silver liner. I don't. I wanted to put silver in my waterline just to tie in with the silver we put on the middle of the lids, but it was too late. I apparently don't own a silver liner, so I just went ahead and put like an eggplanty purple in my waterline. I also did a very small, subtle wing with black liquid liner on the top lash line, and then piled on some mascara. So, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it would have looked way better with silver in my waterline, but you know, whatever, it is what it is. Alright, so that is it, you guys. There is my full review on this new gold Too Faced chocolate bar palette. I hope you enjoyed the review and found it helpful in seeing whether or not this is going to be a palette that you are going to want to add to your collection here in the future. Or hey, maybe you're going to want to pass on it. I love hearing from you guys down in the comments below. What do you feel about this palette? Do you like it? Do you not? Do you want it? Do you not? Let me know. But overall, as always, I just hope you guys enjoyed this review, found it helpful and or enjoyable. If you did, please do go ahead, give me a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you're new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more content from me in the future. You can become a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I would love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!